Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today we're at Doug Braden. He's from the Loveland Midevil Festival, and really looking forward to this because we were talking a little bit off air. And this is not your typical Renaissance festival. This expands to just about everything, including aliens. Doug, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Very good, Jake. Thanks for having me on. And as you can see from the backdrop behind me, I'm one of those kind of Lord of the Rings nerds. So, I generally put my sword on and sport it on the field when I'm done setting up the sound.
Doug, give us a background on you. Where'd you grow up, and talk a little bit about your business and your career.
Me, I grew up in Fort Collins, Colorado, and my business really, I'm a mortgage loan originator. But on the side, I do a little bit of music and have been playing in bands, since I was a kid. As a matter of fact, our band, the Peak Freens, closed down the Bar Bazaar in 1999. The last night they were open. That's probably the last time we were on the cover of the Ticket magazine in Fort Collins. But Kitty Wild and Mike Nolan host this festival every year. And I've been running sound for them and performing at this festival for the past 5 years at least. And so this year we're trying to bring in some mostly local Colorado acts. Nordic Daughter is already on the schedule. Some guys called the Whiskey Pickles will be there. They play a real fun rock and blues set. And we're also trying to work on. You asked me, Jake, to some of the performers I would love to have at the festival. Well, the Stubby Shillelaghs have been with us before, and so I'm trying to bring them in to see if I can bring them back to the festival too, but they aren't booked yet.
Okay, very good. So
we bring a variety of music, upbeat. Yeah.
No, you laid out the third question for me. Let's go back. Give my listeners a little bit of a visual of what this event looks like.
This event is an open field out west of Loveland, up there where the Creepy Walk is hosted. So the Savage Woods is the name of the venue, and Kitty Wild and Michael have been setting this festival up now for about 5 years. It's an open field. There's everything from there's going to be heavy jousting from the Knights of Mayhem will be there this year, full on armor, heavy jousting. They also have a combat section where there are guys that fight in full armor together. It's really fun. Those guys, they beat the crap out of each other.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool to watch. And then they're also going to have some aerial acts too. So they've got some aerial performers that come in and do this artistic, unrolling out of the fabric type thing, dancing in the sky. So that's going to be interesting to see this year. But for my part, I run the music stage. And I keep it fun, keep it exciting, but it's an open field, open to kids and families. There's great vending there. Everything.
Yeah, let's talk about the food. What's it smell like? Let's talk about the food. What's that
smell? They've got the turkey legs and they've got all the brats and lots of fun and there's also going to be a mixed elixir bar there, which is I call it the world's first healthy snow cone, if you will. They use a lot of herbal type things in their elixirs and all kinds of great vendors there that'll have authentic leather goods and all kinds of stuff. And so it's fun for kids, fun for families. Fun for people that want to, get out there and, get their crazy on.
That's perfect. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the history of this event. How long has it been going on?
Well, let's see if I've got some historical details on this. I think they started doing it in 2015 is when the festival began.
Okay.
And Mike and Kitty took it over.
What sparked that?
They call themselves and say they're haunters, who've adopted life and adopted this festival that they do every year. So they really keep it an open theme. Like I said, I've seen people in costumes everywhere from superheroes to awesome Renaissance bills of fare, and I think I mentioned to you off air that we had a guy there last year. He had a costume on. He looked like one of the giant rats from the fire swamp. All kinds of people dressed. It's a lot of fun. Now I gotta tell you, if you do bring your sword, you do have to keep it sheathed, and you do have to keep it tethered, so they don't want you drawing your sword in the field.
Absolutely. All right, Doug, let's talk some details. When does this event happen? How many days is it? And how do people get tickets?
It's June 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Okay.
And the two webs involved here. Let's see if I wrote them down. Yeah, I sure did. It's www.coloradocastle.com. And then, or you could just go to the Colorado Medieval Festival on Facebook and find out details there. Also at the SavageWoods.com.
Oh, that's perfect.
Tickets.
That's perfect.
The 9th, the festival, the field opens from 3 to 6:30 on Friday the 9th. And the rest of the days, they're open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay. All right, Doug, let's have a little bit of fun. This is going to be good, man. You've seen a lot of concerts in your days. What is the best concert you've ever seen in your entire life?
Led Zeppelin in 1973 at the Denver Coliseum.
Oh, man. Yeah, for sure. You could bring one act to the Loveland Midevil Dead or Alive.
My heart goes out to, because I lost a very dear friend of mine and a blues legend. Kim Simmons of Savoy Brown would be the band I would bring, because I have a very soft spot in my heart for Kim, and he actually was kind enough to let me get up and sing with his band on several occasions. And so Kim Simmons of Savoy Brown would be my choice there if I could bring anybody to the show.
That's awesome. Doug, thank you for what you do for live events across country, man. I mean, looking forward, and people are going to be checking you out and making their vacation plans around the Loveland Medieval Festival. Thanks for being on with us today.
Right on, Jake.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle